Amouranth is a streamer who recently came out regarding her controlling relationship with her husband. He threatened the lives of her dogs if she didn't do a 24-hour stream, and also forced her to keep their marriage a secret from the public. In this video, I'm going to be talking about coercive control. Some people don't seem to understand that mistreatment isn't just physical, it's emotional and mental as well. I've wanted to make my videos about psychology a lot more conversational, rather than reading sources word for word, which I did beforehand because I was concerned about misconstruing information and not being accurate to psychology. Instead, I want to walk you through coercive control as an abstract, broad concept. I will cite laws and psychological studies if need be if I'm going into specifics, and I will link other supporting evidence down in the description. I just want my videos on these types of topics to be less robotic. I will also have to censor certain words and phrases in accordance with YouTube's guidelines, but this is not me attempting to downplay the severity of the topic whatsoever. CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service, defines DV and mistreatment as any incident or pattern of incidents of controlling, coercive or threatening behaviour, violence or mistreatment between those aged 16 or over who are or have been intimate partners or family members, regardless of gender or sexuality. This can encompass, but is not limited to, the following types of mistreatment: psychological, physical, sexual, financial, and emotional. Notice how a key part of DV is coercive or threatening behaviour. A lot of people don't take this as seriously as actually having a punch thrown at you, but it can be just as detrimental. Coercive control can be the start of mistreatment or be part of mistreatment. And different types of mistreatment aren't exclusive and they can accumulate. Let's have an active example of this. If you don't have adult relations with me, I won't give you any money this month. The coercive control in that sentence starts with the if. It's a bargaining chip. It's blackmail. You need to do this in order for you to get this. There is also two other types of mistreatment in that sentence. There is sexual mistreatment, and there is also financial mistreatment. That is how coercive control can be part of a controlling relationship surrounded by mistreatment. But what about it being the start of mistreatment? The perpetrator will begin fostering a dependent relationship with their partner. They'll isolate them socially and emotionally. This is how they can coerce them later on when they're all alone. They can do this in many different ways, but with coercive control, it tends to be a lot more subtle. Maybe they'll start rumours about your friends. I heard your friend said this about you. I think that's really horrible. I don't get why you're friends with them. Or they'll sow seeds of doubt. They all went out last night without you? Such good friends they are. Or they may try and assert themselves as the number one most important social figure in their lives. I'm not really fond of your friend that you hang out with a lot. They don't seem really that great to me. Or, your friend doesn't like me and I don't get it. I'm really good to you. They'll pit their partner against their friends and try and break down relationships, even going so far as to doing the same with family members. Alternatively, they could cut out the middleman and just target somebody who is socially isolated already or who doesn't have any close living family members. That in itself is coercive control. It might not seem that way to begin with. They're just concerned about their partner. They want their partner to have a happy social life. And all of the friends that they have right now, oh, they're just snakes and they're horrible and their family members look down on them and don't truly appreciate them. No. The controller is the only one that truly understands them and that truly values them as a person. Another thing that comes into play with coercive control is offering to do things and making it sound selfless and then flipping it around as if their partner owes them. For example, insisting that their partner doesn't need their own bank account. They can either have a joint bank account or put all of the money earned by the both of them in a bank account owned by the perpetrator. They might even suggest that their partner doesn't need to work. It starts off with things like, You don't need your own bank account. Just put it in my account. I'll sort the bills out. You don't have to worry about a thing. You don't need to work. I make enough money for the both of us. You seriously don't have to worry about a thing. Then later flipping it around to be, I'm the one who sorts out our finances. I'm the one who pays our bills, and you can't do this one thing for me? I go to work all day while you sit at home and do nothing, and you can't even do this for me. Again, you can see the fusion of coercive control and, in the example that I've given, financial mistreatment. Like the example I used before of using money in order to leverage things out of your partner, such as adult activity. Or it could also be used as a justification as to why a partner acts away. Yes, I hit you, but I'm under so much stress. I'm the one that's doing all the work. You sit at home and do nothing. Of course I'm going to be agitated. It's sold to the partner as a benefit or a perk of their partner being selfless and caring, and then gets flipped around as a way to extort them or justify other types of mistreatment. And that's my explanation for how coercive control can both be the catalyst and part of mistreatment. They go hand in hand. However, some people have taken the news of Amouranth being in a controlling relationship and turned it around on her, saying that she was somehow scamming her fans because she was selling herself as a single woman. I'll get the first part of this out the way as it links to the first part of the video. Number one, Amouranth was in a controlling relationship where everything was dictated by her partner, and we have supporting evidence for this. It's not as if she could come out and say that she was single, but the second part is I want to talk about parasocial relationships. Even if Amouranth was portraying herself to be a single woman of her own volition, it still is not scamming her male audience members who would donate to her in the hopes of getting her attention. A scam is a dishonest scheme or fraud, promising somebody or a group of people something but never intending to deliver on that. What would the scam here be? Amouranth pretending to be single and her audience hoping that means that they might have a chance with her? As far as I'm aware, Amouranth has never made the promise to any single member of her audience that if they continue to donate to them, she may become romantically interested in them. This is something she's never done. It's all part of parasocial relationships. Parasocial relationships or parasocial interaction refers to a kind of psychological relationship experienced by an audience in their mediated encounters with performers in the mass media, particularly on television and online platforms. One of the defining characteristics of a parasocial relationship is that it is not reciprocated by the media figure. I've talked about parasocial relationships before, and I think the internet as a whole have talked parasocial relationships into the ground, so I won't go too deeply into it, but I do have videos that go over parasocial relationships. And I would encourage you to go and look at the work of Giles and Maltby 2006 when they talk about the different levels of parasocial relationships. There are many different theories as to why parasocial relationships exist, but the prominent ones include attachment style and affective bonding theory. In the case of audience members of Amouranth who may feel slighted by the fact that she concealed her relationship status, I would hedge a bet that most of them fall into the intense personal or borderline pathological levels of parasocial relationships. Of course, I'm not going to diagnose anyone with anything, I'm just saying this based on the observations I have made from some of these fans. Intense personal. At this level, people develop a sense of a greater personal connection with the celebrity. They might feel compelled to learn more about their life and personality. They might idolize them or start to mirror them, developing obsessive thoughts. Borderline pathological. This is the most intense level, which can include obsessive fantasies and extreme behavior. This extreme behavior may include financial investments, such as spending a lot of money to see the person or get their attention, or illegal behavior such as stalking. At this level, it is also common for the fan to believe their feelings will be reciprocated when they meet the target of their adoration. See that point that I emphasized on? Spending money to see the person or get their attention. This is part of borderline pathological parasocial relationships. It's a delusion in its simplest state, believing that just because somebody reads out your name and message on stream that you'll somehow become romantically involved with them. And this is what some of the fans are saying about Amouranth, that because people believed that she was single, she was somehow scamming them because they donated money to her because she was single. Theory classifies this as delusional and parasocial relationship type behaviour. Sorry to break it to you. It also smells of entitlement. I highly recommend going over and watching Sweet Anita's interview with Lad Bible, because she talked about being a woman on the internet and how this can affect her and interactions that she has with some people, likening it to the messages that some people get online. You know the types, you see them over and over again. A guy is nice to a girl in the DMs, and then as soon as she is not interested or unavailable, they turn it around and begin to insult the girl. Hey, what's up? Wanna chat? Sorry, I'm not interested. Well, screw you, you're ugly and fat anyways, I never liked you, bitch. This is where the parasocial relationships and entitlement intertwine. It becomes hostile when they realise they can't get the target of their affection, no matter how delusional they were in the first place to consider that as a legitimate possibility. They themselves made the delusional leap of logic of, if I get this person to notice me enough, eventually she'll follow me back, and we'll chat, and we'll meet up, and we'll fall in love, and live happily ever after together. It's like a male yandere. You guys realise that, right? Because of this delusion, they poured money, time, and effort into supporting somebody with the only intention of being with that person. That was the value to them. And when it turns out that their little delusion is crushed and they have to face reality, they lash out. It's almost as if they poured all of that money, time, and effort in so that they could possess a woman, only to find out that in their minds, she was already owned. Interesting. So the TLDR of that is, no, you never had a chance with Amouranth. She never said that she would promise you anything in return for your donations, and no one had a gun to your head. You donated out of your own delusion. Please go and get help and figure out how to interact with women in real life. That's all for this video. I wanted to make it more conversational rather than just reeling off information from articles. I have used academic information in this video, but I've tried doing it in a more conversational way. It feels more natural and hopefully it's more entertaining. Let me know what you guys think in the description, and if there is anyone out there who has suffered with coercive control or any other type of DV, I will link support links down in the description as well. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.